one of them up and then the other one in another tab. So just right click on one and just open it up in another tab.
I'm using what am I using? The MacBook. Where my mouse
Okay.
is? Yeah.
No problem, no problem. We could just, because it's going to be the same thing, just one looks different, right?
Yes, sir.
But this is what I was saying, how you got the open tickets, the unassigned tickets, and then all your other categories off to the left. You got different categories at the top that you can use and navigate to. And I'll let you just, whenever you get free time, just go through everything, see what you got questions on, and just let me know.
Yes, sir.
But this is your typical help desk, service desk queue. If they, you get into a business and they say, hey, we done put 2 tickets in your queue, this is where you're going to go at and check those tickets, update those tickets, and then close those tickets.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now go to version 2 real quick, just to kind of show the difference. It's just an updated version. It looks a little bit more appealing to the eye with the little user icons off to the left, but nothing. It doesn't say anything different. So either you'll run into one or the other. You'll run into ones that we saved a little bit of money, so they gave you version 1, or we spent a little bit more money and we get a little bit more features with version 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But it's typically the whole same thing. Now, users normally don't see this side of the ticketing system. They see what you were logged into the first time.
Okay.
First time. That hey, you could submit a ticket here, and then they're able to check their tickets in that type of platform. But here, this is where IT people, we go and we check our tickets and then we update them. This is what you call the back end. I guess you could say it like that. Some people may use that terminology. The back end. Let me go and check my tickets, things like that. Any questions?
No. I like this. This interface, version 2 interface, look a whole lot better than. Well, I'm not saying a whole lot better. Yeah, it's more streamlined, I guess.
And go to RMM. This is the work I've been doing. So I got some clients for us to look at, and these are the agents that I have out there that's actually on machines, and some are running, some of them are already reported issues. And we'll get into this as we go along with these sessions. But you can, I got these there, so now you can click on the ones that I highlighted and just look at it'll let you drill so far into like file locations.
Yes, sir.
It'll let you remote into them, which I would not suggest. But
yes.
This is not just me and my household. This is, I think, 2 other households. Yeah, oh yeah. This is real. Whenever I say, hey, we have an application out there, we need to make sure this application is off all PCs that's under our care. You can go in here and we can look in the application part of them and then tell that endpoint to take it off.
Okay.
So we'll get to that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Whenever those names, those computer names are highlighted, you can click in them and then, drill down into them to see the information that the endpoint has collected. Okay. So This is your typical dashboard. Well, this is my dashboard. Your dashboard is at the top, and I'll go over that in a minute. But this is what I go and look at my agent, see what's actually going on. All right, this is what I'm gonna check every morning to see who's out here wilding out, what I gotta do, You know, I got some mobile devices. You see a couple of iPads in there. I even got a couple of Android tablets in there. And I got geofencing on them, so I know the locations of those tablets, those mobile devices. That's crucial for MDM management, mobile device management. So all those things we talked about in Security Plus, this is putting the rubber to the road here.
I like this.
All right. Now, if you want to put an endpoint on your machine, let me know, or you can just go ahead and download it. I did put this endpoint on some of my virtual machines as well. So,
okay.
Because remember, your virtual machines are, even though they're sitting on VirtualBox and may not be turned on, when they do turn on, they're connected to the internet, and they may be up to date and patched. They may not be. So it'll be good if you had an EDR system on it or an endpoint on it to be able to look at it from a high glance, from a high point to see what's going on with it.
Okay. What I do then is I use the HP to spin up a virtual machine. Because the MacBook, I don't have enough memory of it. Even with a solid state hard drive, the extra one, I just don't have the extra memory. So I'm gonna spin it up on HP. I think I can create a server and a regular machine. And
You as a security professional, you're gonna go through and see, okay, I got 10 alerts. What's going on here? And we'll get to this on why this is wilding out like that.
okay.
But this is, when you look down into it, this is your threat hunting at a glance. This is how you dig into what's actually going on with the vulnerability. What is the hacker trying to do? Not saying that this is being actively hacked right now, but this is how you threat hunt. This is how you look through and you see what processes is happening on that computer to see exactly what is the hacker trying to do.
Okay.
Okay. You still get your, you get your little nice graphs.
Yes, sir.
Things to print out to people, getting an overlay of the network overall. So in our network for Mitchell Technologies, we got 2 Androids, at least 5 iOSs. Not at least, but we have 5 iOSs, at least 2 iPhones. I'll say that, and mostly Windows machines. But I like this that it also breaks it down over into device types too.
Yes, sir.
When people ask you what's in your network, it's nice to say, hey, take a look at the dashboard and say, okay, yeah, man, no, we only got 1 server in the that we're tracking. So if you see another server that's out there on the network, then we need to take a look at that because we should only have 1.
Yes, sir.
I'll go over ownership whenever we get to that, but it's basically you could set up different types of ownerships as far as, let's say, if it belonged to the legal department, HR department, so on and so forth.
Yes, sir.
And then the all important, what versions are we on? A lot of IT directors, CISOs will want to know what versions that we're on. A key note to remember is that you probably want to be on the 1 version back than the latest version. Just because if we haven't tested out the new version, and let's say the new version is vulnerable, then and we already pushed it out to everybody, there's no way to really roll back until the new version comes back out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you get hit with a 0-day exploit, and if you're on the new version, you have to wait till a patch comes through to try to fix it.
Right. So we want to stay 1 behind And then, whenever that new one, because we know a new version is going to come, right? So
Yes, sir.
whenever that new version comes out, we'll make a way and make sure that we're not vulnerable for the one that we're going to jump to.
Okay.
At least have some type of mitigation in place that if we're going to move up, that we can have something in place just in case we become, that vulnerability makes us more risk aware to risk acceptable to what we're comfortable with.
Yes, sir. Now, let me ask you a question. In that regard, that is for like operating system, iOS's or Windows operating systems. What I'm looking at here is regarding Android, Windows, and Mac OS operating systems that you want to stay one version behind. Is that what you were referring to?
No, not in regards to that. But you can look at it. So we'll have a conversation about it, right? So if we're like in our network here, let's say we call this give me a business name. Harmon Enterprises.
Okay.
So for Harmon Enterprises, we got these clients out here right now, and we're saying that, hey, we're on Windows 10, but we know Windows 11 is out here, and they're talking about actually moving up after Windows 11 soon. Well, me and you will sit down and take a look at it and say, hey, all right, can we move up to 11 because 11 is more secure? You'll say, yeah, we can. Any applications that can't work with 11? No ally applications can. Okay, then it'll be better for us to just go ahead and eliminate the vulnerability of being on a later version of Windows and just move up to Windows 11.
Yes, sir.
Now, in certain cases where, like, I'm working for the industrial industry, a lot of our equipment, those conveyor belts, a lot of machinery can't work with anything but Windows XP.
Yes, sir.
But what do? We don't want to move, but yeah, we can move up to Windows 10 or Windows 11 and leave XP up behind, but then we can't use the conveyor belts no more.
Mm-hmm.
So me and you will sit down and say, okay, all right, since we have to have XP, they can't be on the internet. All right, because the application could probably work without the internet. The application just needs to tell that conveyor belt just to move to the left, left. That's it. It doesn't need the internet for that. So we could just leave that computer on XP and, cut off the network card for it. Make sure it doesn't have any network connectivity. Or segment it on the network. Put it in its own VLAN. Make sure it can't get out. But you still run a risk of it being connected to the internet.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll go over all of this other stuff in upcoming sessions. We did the device list. Good stuff here that you can click through. User list. Everybody here. All right. Now the configuration templates. This is like GPOs. This is how we tell the device how we want them on our network. As you can see here, and the word of advice, if you're going to put one on your iPhone or something like that,
yes, sir.
To revise iOS. Don't do the first one that I had, which is down here.
Okay.
That's going to have you change the password like every 2 minutes. Eating me off. But you can't go in here and change them. You got to make a new one and then change it. So if you go here to revise, this is what I mean. We tell the device what to do. So Go to edit, and then we can find what things we want, but then we can go in here, we can edit these rules. These are rules that we set. So in Harmon Enterprises, if we don't trust our people, hey man, let's just make sure that we give them a minimum of 6 on the passcode.
Okay.
Things like that. And we can tailor our policy off of these configuration templates. And then once we're ready to, well, let me get some more stuff. We can even do this. You know, lock it down if you really wanted to. No, you can't install nothing. No, you can't uninstall nothing. No, don't use the camera. No FaceTime. None of that. I don't want no hotspot or nothing. We can do all of that here by editing and pretty much just unclicking.
Okay.
But then once you do that, the way you get it to go to that computer, that iPhone, you have to download that app. So you have to download this endpoint. We'll go over that in just a second. But anyway, you got to download that endpoint on that device, and then you have to tell that device to look for this profile. And once it goes under that profile, then it acts the way I want it to, because this is the configurations I want it to have. Okay.
Okay.
So if I didn't want anybody to download Netflix on a company phone, hey, I might have to say, is it just Netflix I don't want it? Oh, yeah. Well, okay, maybe I don't want to block any and every app from the App Store. Maybe I should go in there and have it look for a particular app in a different section. But maybe, this is a widespread profile here. So this is going to hit everybody. And so if we're just going to say is this certain things we want, we're going to probably manipulate this profile to show that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how it works right here. This is MDM.
I like this.
Right. Yeah. And so what I would suggest to you, you can go in here to these profiles, and just like how I got this test here, highlight it, and then clone the profile. Clone it, and then you rename it so I know it's you. And then you build your own profile on how you want it. Then test it on a machine or test it on a device that you want to put it on.
Okay.
And see if that's the type of reaction that you want. So if you had a nephew or a niece or something like that you ain't want them to, have stuff on their phones and stuff like that, yeah, throw this on there. This is a great way to do that. Same thing when it comes to Linux devices, Windows machines, Mac OS, same thing.
And I can do this on virtual machines as well.
That is correct.
Okay.
So
and
let's jump to, go ahead.
You can you go back one screen? I want to make sure I get the right profile that I'm supposed to use. You want me to use the revised iOS profile as the template? Or it could be any of those.
You can do any. Once you clone it, it's yours. I don't care.
Right.
It doesn't matter, because what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and do this. Let's say we want to clone this Linux one, right? We're going to click this little, we're going to select it here in order to give us the options at the top.
Okay.
It's grayed out here. So we're going to select it. Then I say, okay, I clone it. It's going to automatically drop that down. I say this is these tests. I probably don't like the apostrophe. Testing out this new, clone it, Now it automatically throws me in, but now I can go through, and if I had me a Linux box that I wanted on this profile, I can go ahead and throw it in here. I can go ahead and configure my antivirus to scan whenever I feel like it. This is what I'm going to do. Schedule scan. Real nice stuff. Go to my updates. When do I want it to reach out for updates? Find access control so that we can do enable the password protection. This is what we do whenever we're gonna, let's say we got a new client. Let's say, yeah, like you just joined the company. This is what I'm gonna do to your computer before I send you the computer. This is why you can't just do whatever you feel like doing once I give you the computer.
Yes, sir.
Because this is what we call locking down or hardening. I'm going to set the configurations up to what's the standard of the business. And then once I give it to you, and let's say you put in a ticket and say, I can't install iTunes on my my MacBook. Well, yeah, that's because it's not an authorized application for the business. I prevented you from doing that from the get-go.
Okay.
And it's done all here with these profiles.
All right. All right. I like this right here.
We'll get into data loss prevention too. This is good too.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, play around with these profiles whenever you feel like it. Or you know, if you got a question and you want to go through one next time, let's go through one, and then we'll throw a couple machines in there and see how it reacts. See how long it takes for that machine to actually talk back to this server and say, okay, no, I'm not going to allow screensavers to be put on this machine. Then we go test it out and we see if it works or not. So the security part of it, the endpoint, and this is where the antivirus is highlighted here the most. I think this is a highlight of this Exidium platform, just because it's a response tool that not only can it scan and look for a virus, it can also respond to it and isolate the machine and so on and so forth like that. People are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for companies just to have this type of technology on their machines. So having that endpoint there, man, it's a big thing. I think this is if I can get this into a school system or a small business, and we could see this on a larger scale, you'll really get to understand where I'm coming from when it comes to the value that comes along with it.
Let me ask you another question then. I have Trend Micro and Malwarebytes on both my computers, laptops. Now, with this, does it interact with Windows Defender, or will it interact with Malwarebytes and Trend Micro?
It will treat it as its own separate application. So it's not going to fight with those applications, but it's not going to work in conjunction with it.
Okay.
So those endpoints, a lot of endpoints can be on your computers at one time. So like here, I got Muninet on here, and it scans, right? But at the same time, it doesn't talk to Exidium. And then the reason why I don't like it is because I can't look at it from any place in the world. It's just like how you're logged into the platform, and you could see the endpoint that's on this computer that I'm sharing with you right now, and say, hey, Mr. Mitchell, I think we need to take a look at it. Something's going on in the background. I can't get that much information out of here. It's just pretty much, hey, did you do a scan today? Did you find anything? No. All right. Well, this does that too. It does a scan, but I'm also able to dig like we seen in the earlier listing of it in the, what was it? Your regular EDR, malware things like that. The company of, whoever works for Malwarebytes or Microsoft Defender, they will see something like this that could be able to dig further into the files. But us being able to see this type of stuff right here, gold, man. And then you can investigate. And once you start putting all this stuff together and, you have a case on, you have a hunch, you see something in your firewall rules that says that, you have some strange activity, and then you get to, isolate that one machine. Let's take a look at the strange activity from the logs. Let's see if we can look at it here on the endpoint security portion of it. What did the endpoint see? And start digging down into it. Because more than likely, your regular AV scan is not going to see this deep into the files. Hey, you actually got a memory leak, or this doesn't look, this, for some reason at some point in time, this amount of traffic is always leaving from this directory, leaving out and going to this particular address on the internet, which says that somebody has already infiltrated and telling that that directory to send some information out to them. Your regular AV is probably just going to scan and look for signatures that they already know. Signatures are kind of like fingerprints of a known virus.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's going to do. Hey, I don't see anything that I already know, so you're clean. This looks a little different. This looks deeper into it. And then, if you had some people that know what they're looking for, then actually, start to realize if you've been infiltrated or not.
Okay. All right.
All right. So now the applications. This is how, like I said, if let's say you read something and you say, hey man, I heard that the Zillow app was vulnerable on this version. Let's check to see who has it on their machines. And now you get a quick rundown of all the iPads that have Zillow on them. So this bulk installation package is, let's say if we were working at a big university.
Yes, sir. And
we needed to put these endpoints on 500 machines. We can come here and work with a package installer called SCCM or EMMC, I think. Anyway, SCCM, Software Management System. They use that to take the endpoint that we will give them and then push them out to like thousands and thousands of connected computers. And they do this pretty much overnight. So this is how if you had like a hospital, right? New hospital just been built. You have 500 machines get put in throughout the hospital. You're not going to image each and every machine. You're going to put that machine in place, plug it up to the network, and now it's going to be listening on the network for that SCCM to give it the command to install Windows 10 or Windows 11, whatever. And then with that, it's going to also install this endpoint on each machine.
Okay.
So that's where the bulk comes in. That bulk installation package comes into play at. To remotely access your device, perform routine security maintenance, which will not interfere with your work. Please click allow to start a remote session. See how it works. So from here, now I don't see any changes to my desktop, right? But
Yes, sir.
here on the platform, now I'm able to actually drill down into this is what's actually on my actual file directory.
Okay.
Let me show you here. If I were to go to, let me see, that is program file. So see, you'll see how these kind of match up with each other. Intel, OEM.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is how, if I wanted to see those files, but I don't know if I can actually open those files.
Okay.
So then you go into, do you have something that can read it? All that. I can download the file. I downloaded the file. Now that could be, that's risky. I'm gonna just tell you that up front. When you,
Yeah,
if
get
you're
fired
doing
for
this,
stuff like that.
right? So you want to do this and know exactly what you're looking for when remoting into someone's PC. Now this is just the back end. So even though it's just the back end and they can still continue their work, they were prompted that you connected to their PC and they had to give you control. But like I said, if you download the wrong thing that was, above your pay grade or sensitive, let's say you got a secret clearance and you downloaded something that was top secret, now we got issues.
Yeah.
So always be careful on that.
Yes, sir.
But good for you is that you get to play around with this stuff, see exactly what you're doing, because you don't want to learn on the job when it comes with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't want to get started.
Right. So you want, you know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is that a lot of companies that I've seen, they don't even have endpoints that can go that far in between, like the remote session of it. They might have what I use, TeamViewer, or they might use Microsoft Teams to share the screen and stuff like that, or Zoom.
Yes, sir.
But when it comes to like those type of applications, when it comes to executing, installing applications, you're going to need that user to help you along with actually getting things installed. So,
yes, sir.
but I think there's still good stuff to look at and to learn.
Do companies make rules about remoting into computers? Because like at a bank, I used to work at a BB&T a long time ago. You couldn't just randomly open up somebody bank account and just be like, yeah, let me see how much money this person. That is an automatic fireable offense. Do companies also make rules like that? Like if we catch you just randomly remoting into people's computer without express permission, or if you have any kind, like if that customer didn't give you permission to contact them to remote to the computer, that's an automatic termination.
Hey, I got this ticket for Emily. Emily is not, she ain't been at work for 2 days. I need to get this thing closed, because the one thing about tickets is that even though Emily put this in, the time starts on these tickets whenever she puts the doggone ticket in.
Okay.
So if she's not there for you to get consent to remote into a PC, you got to do what you got to do. Okay.
Okay.
But pro tip now, if you do that, you log all of that stuff here in this response. Or
okay.
some of them have notes. You'll say user was not in, remoted into her machine, fix the issue, close the ticket. You cover yourself yourself by doing stuff like that. Now,
yes, sir.
let's just go ahead and just jump into this one real quick. So
Okay.
this is a ticket, right? Your normal ticket, right? So
Yes, sir.
Emily put this joint in, and she put it in on the 26th. So we already we late on this ticket. The reason why we late is because of SLA time. So SLA is service level agreement. Service level agreement is a agreement that the higher ups have already made on your behalf to open it for users to open a ticket, and then for you to actually work that ticket and then close that ticket.
Okay.
When you get into this field, you will get to understand that SLA times can be a pain because they normally don't start once you get these tickets. Okay?
Okay.
So you're going to be coming in at a higher level than help desk or service desk. So help desk, normally those guys, they just answer the phone and then they type these tickets up and then they assign them to you. Okay?
Okay.
That's help desk entry level, where you're going to be coming in at a security level or more of a desktop support role or what have you. You're going to be one level above that. So
Okay.
a lot of times your SLA time has already started, and where you think you had 4 days to close a ticket, you may have 2, a day and a half,
Okay.
30 minutes.
Good. No.
But you cover yourself because you see here, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's already going to let you know. And before you get out here and start freaking out, just say, hey, I received said ticket at this date.
Okay.
The ticket was opened up on the 26th. I did not receive my account until the 31st. So, you just putting that in there. Is it going to count against you? Yes, it's still going to count against you. But your boss will know that it's not your fault. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's see what she got going on. I'm having trouble setting up my work email on my iPhone using the mail app. Okay?
All right.
Now, that's just troubleshooting it. If me and you working through this issue right now, I would say, all right, Chris, have her call you up on a different phone or talk to her on Teams or Zoom or something like that with the iPhone in her hand. And let's see if we can walk her through actually setting up the email.
Okay.
But we also, before we call her up, we probably want to go over here to the platform and see if she has the right profile on her iPhone. Because remember, we can set them up with different profiles, right?
Yes, sir.
And so we may have a profile, let's say, we set them up with different profiles here, right? And let's say if you were testing one out and you accidentally threw her phone into this test profile, and now she can't set up her email because of it.
Okay.
So we want to just, double check, see if it's not in there. And if it's not, then you call her up and say, okay, walk me through what you're actually doing. And if you got this, more than likely, you're going to have the processes on a piece of paper, on a cheat sheet, and you're going to understand what's the proper steps to setting up an email. She's going to probably be missing some point. Maybe her email address needs to be changed. Her password is not right to her email address.
Mm-hmm.
And you just simply walk her through it. Once you walk her through it, and she says, oh, it's populating now, because I guarantee you, it's going to be probably a password issue. You tell her to calmly type her password in one character at a time.
Yes, sir.
She gets it right. It populates her email. She'll probably say, oh, you know what? I don't know what happened, but it just started working, right?
Yes,
She
sir.
says that, hey, it's all good. You say, all right, if you got any more questions or any issues, just give me a call. Glad to help you out. Put it right here in your response. Close the ticket.
Okay.
You see here. Well,
All right. So once again, you go and wait. Do you see if she's in that No. Because she shouldn't be in there. So you give her a call, and ask her what was the last password. Do she remember putting in? Um, have her try that one more time. If that's not it, then you're gonna have to explain to her that you're gonna have to reset her password.
Yep. You'll reset her password on a Windows machine where?
On a Windows machine. Oh, out now. Do I remember that? In settings. You know what? I don't know. I'm about to play around with it. I don't know that one.
Yes, you do. You do know. If we're in an enterprise, we at Harmon Enterprises, we're remote. He's using a
Oh,
Windows machine. More likely.
Access and identity management. In the what's the thing called? We built these things on the thing. I know it. I know it. Do that now. But I can't call it out. I can't call it out of my head right now. But I know what to do with it.
Yeah. If you know the application, then that's the only thing you got to do.
Okay.
Reset her there. You make sure she log in, update the ticket, close it out.
I know what. It's on the tip of my tongue. That's gonna bug me right now. Active Directory. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.